Argon Co et Supply Chain Village sont fiers de vous présenter leur podcast Opérations pharmaceutiques Regards croisés qui aborde les challenges des opérations dans le secteur pharmaceutique vues par les professionnels de la supply chain. Bienvenue dans ce nouvel épisode, la data comme levier de performance supply chain dans le secteur pharmaceutique.
Good morning, I'm Fabrice Corbiere, partner at Argon Co. I used to work a lot for pharmaceuticals companies. Welcome in our podcast series dealing with operation in pharma. It seemed essential to us in Argon Co to devote one of the episodes of this podcast to the challenges of data in operation management. Let me introduce Karim Louedec, who have been working as Chief Data Officer in a large company in pharmaceutical sector. We in Iris by Argon Co had the pleasure of working with you, Karim, and with your teams. I thought you would be the guy to focus on data for operations in pharmaceuticals. And so I'd like to thank you very much for taking part. So, first of all, Karim, would you please introduce yourself for our listeners?
Yeah, thank you, Fabrice. Thanks a lot for the invitation. So, yes, up to last mid-October, I was the Group Chief Data Officer at Servier. Servier, which is the second biggest French pharmaceutical company in France. Mm-hmm. Previously, I spent 3 years for that. Previously, I was the Chief Data Officer for Maison du Monde. Maison du Monde is a French retailer in furniture, mainly located in Europe. Mm-hmm. And my first job was when I was hired in M6. M6, which is an affiliate from Bertelsmann Group, and it's second also biggest private TV channel in France, and I was hired as their first data scientist actually, and after a few months I was in charge also of data strategy, data science, also data related to the ad tech business.
Maybe in a few words, not to spend too much time on it, but we are hearing a lot of terms, a lot of words to describe what people do inside the data. How would you segment the different roles inside the data factory, let's say, a data team?
Yeah. Usually what I like, it's not to be too much specialized in the terms, even if you can see on the market a lot of terms.
That's the purpose of my question, in fact.
Yes. So maybe I will take the example of my latest team. You see, so I had 3 departments of, let's say, expertise. The first one, data analytics. So you can have inside the data analyst, maybe. And sometimes you can see also on the market, they are called as analytics engineers. So the idea is just to do SQL, produce tables, produce dashboards, and I hope that these dashboards answer to business questions, you see. Second department, which is related to data science and AI, so data scientists, ML engineers, and all these kind of roles just to integrate all the AI capabilities and machine learning capabilities in your business for your company.
Okay.
The third department was composed of data engineers, data ops, so the industrials, the programs, the products, they build the platform. So they are really important in the beginning of your success also.
Okay.
And then you have data products, so with product managers, product owners, so really guys coming from agility stuff. They have business questions. They will develop a product and they will build a squad or feature team based on data engineers, data scientists, data analytics to do that. And that's
sort
it.
Of orchestrator and interface with business.
Yeah, yes, okay. Exactly. And sometimes they are called also, you see, as data translators.
Yeah.
because there is a huge amount of work to really design what will be the good product for the good question. And I will not tell you that we succeed and we have a success each time. This is a huge amount of work, and this is still a challenge for a lot of data departments. And then in transversal also to all these departments, the last one that I had, it's related to data governance, so what we were talking previously, data acculturation, data communities, and this is also as roles, let's say, lead data governance, lead data acculturation. Sometimes also I was trying to push the role of data community manager actually in the company.
Okay. If we come a bit more pharmaceutical sector oriented, how would you, from a data perspective, differentiate this pharma sector from other ones? What are the difficulties or even the specific stakes concerning data in this sector?
Yeah, difficulties, challenges, yeah. This sector has some specificities, yes. A lot of regulatories.
Mm-hmm.
It's very known about that. I discovered when I joined this pharmaceutical sector what they call the GXP compliance.
Yep.
Very nice word for everyone who are involved in this sector. And it can sometimes, and it's normal, to lead to immobility because it's more comfortable not to change a system already validated for regulatory.
Yeah.
So we have to take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
You have also the concept that time can be very, very long. So if I share with you the time to discover a new treatment, a new drug, it takes between 10 to 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it costs more than 1 billion of euros. So you see, during the same period of time, on the market, you have guys who can have an idea of business, who can launch a startup, scale it, and maybe even crash the startup, you see. So it's a lot of time. So we have to deal with.
Okay.
And to talk about a specific use cases in this pharma and especially in R&D. So the idea and the first goal is to try to reduce the time to discover a new drug.
Yeah, and to go to the industrialization included. So the whole development cycle.
Yeah, because it takes a lot of money to do that, because a lot of time. So we have to accelerate our discovery because you have passion at the end. The idea was really, and what we did as a strong use case, it's to facilitate the life of our scientists in their day-to-day work. So when I arrived in this company, they had IT systems and tools to analyze their data, which were, I would say, more obsolete or less advanced, than what I had when I was scientist in public research in 2010, you see. So we had to help them, for sure. So our solution was actually to provide them an easy environment, an advanced analytics platform to integrate easily their data, because they work on data coming from patients, but also coming from public laboratories, from also other private companies. They had just to do their analysis and take business decisions based on that. Also, thanks to this platform, we had access to public cloud, and it is an easy way to get on-demand massive computing resources when they needed. And also because you have research and you have development, and it's also a huge work in these departments to sync the R&D across the whole value chain of the research and development. And so recently, they had very nice results where they say that instead of spending 3 weeks to do an analysis, they took only a half a day to do that for the same studies, you see. So they had
optimization.
3 weeks, and so it's time just at the end to have a new drug for patients, you see.
Okay, so you are talking about R&D, which is very interesting and very specific to pharmaceuticals for sure. If we take a step back, looking at your career, where was the areas, or what was the areas where the company invests the most? Was it about for product development, for supply chain, for purchasing, for manufacturing, for physical distributions, marketing, sales? So when you look at all the value chain of a company, where was, from your point of view, the most challenging and the most important investments in data?
Yep. What I have seen, I would say it's more related to marketing, sales activities, and all the stuff related to the funnel of conversion of your customers. So conversions, it means an order of on a website. It means video watched on a streaming platform. It can be also prescriptions by a healthcare professional. So thanks to data, when you see Fabrice during these last 10 years, we have seen a huge improvement for companies in the understanding of their customers. This is usually what we have behind the buzzword 360 degrees view of your customers. Yeah. So actually, data breaks the silos between devices, so TV, smartphone, tablet, desktop. Data also breaks the silos between online and offline activities when you are a retailer and when you want to optimize your omni-channel strategies. And thanks to all this data that you gather, that you can consolidate, you have a great knowledge of your customers. And so you can activate product recommendations, video recommendations, customer targeting. So this is a field where lots of improvements, lots of data activations were made these last years. And you have also models like Google, Amazon, Facebook, Meta.
For sure that's marketing, and B2C is probably the most advanced in terms of data, because they began sooner than other domains, I imagine.
Yes, it was the case. Yeah.
Okay. Can you give me the use case you're the most proud of in supply chain, for example? I mean in terms of the value you brought to the business?
Supply chain, it's not like marketing. It's much more difficult. But 100% of your turnover pass through the tubes of supply chain. So this is very, very important. But since it's much more difficult, usually companies sometimes they like to do it later, but they should not. Supply chain in my previous company, you see, you have 75 affiliates. Maybe you have 4 different editors of ERPs. And maybe for each ERP, you have 2 or 3 different configurations. So at the end, you have
fragmented information system.
Yes, totally fragmented information systems. So the first need when you are the director of your supply chain, it's very basic. It's just to I just need a global view of my stocks all around the world, because I don't want to have shortages, but the best way not to have shortages, it's not only just to produce, because otherwise your CFO will not like that. So the idea is to have a large view of all your stocks, just to improve your strategy concerning the shortages, and also to optimize your distribution network and all this kind of stuff. But the first work to do is just to have this view and the global view. And this is already a lot of work.
Yeah, okay. But the stake is just enormous, because in a make-to-stock business, if you want to properly optimize your stock, you need to know where they are, in which freshness.
Yes, also
in which quantities, etc.
Yes, you are right.
It's a basic use case, but not an easy one. It's a first
not
one to
an
implement.
Easy one at all.
Okay, very clear. Huge thanks, Karim, for your time in this podcast. It was really a pleasure listening to you.
Merci d'avoir suivi ce podcast sur Supply Chain Village en partenariat avec Argon Co. À très bientôt.